Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. If results don't improve, Solskjaer will be sacked. Man United have won 2 of their last 6 games in all competitions. Reflecting on that, Solskjaer is under pressure. But Manchester United still fully committed to Solskjaer and have no plans to replace the club legend as manager, despite a poor run of results. So Solskjaer's job is 100% safe. Now obviously we're due with Everton 1-1 last weekend at Old Trafford. Solskjaer got criticised for not starting Ronaldo. Solskjaer came out and said he had no regrets over not starting Ronaldo. Gary Neville has come out and said that Cristiano Ronaldo was annoyed with Solskjaer after Man United's 1-1 draw with Everton. Neville also said that Ronaldo's walk-off puts pressure on Solskjaer. I can't understand why he didn't start Paul Pogba against Everton either. You know, we just beat Villarreal in the Champions League 2-1. You know, Ronaldo scored the winning goal in the 95th minute of stoppage time. If it weren't for Ronaldo, we wouldn't have won that game. You know, lost to Aston Villa at Old Trafford 1-0. That was the first time Aston Villa won at Old Trafford in 12 years. Lost to West Ham in the Carabao Cup. That was the first time West Ham won at Old Trafford since 2007. And a few weeks ago we lost to Young Boys 2-1 in the Champions League. Lingard cost us that game with that back pass. Solskjaer was definitely accountable for that defeat to Young Boys because the tactics were wrong and the substitutions were wrong. I definitely want Solskjaer out. The vast majority of Manchester United fans want Solskjaer out. Maybe there's still some Man United fans that are Ollie in. Now obviously there's some Man United fans that are demanding Antonio Conte in to replace Solskjaer. Antonio Conte is available because he left Inter Milan at the end of last season. Conte has got a good pedigree behind him, won a lot of silverware in his home nation. And when he was in his first season at Chelsea, he won the Premier League. And I think if Conte come to Man United to replace Solskjaer, you know, he'd suit the strappings of the club and he'd do well. Well, it said earlier on this season that Conte would accept the Man United job if Solskjaer was to be sacked. Conte came out and said he wants a winning project, so he rejected Arsenal and he rejected Tottenham. There's obviously some United fans that want Zidane in to replace Solskjaer. Don't forget at one point we tried to get Mauricio Pochettino when Pochettino was managerless. You know, Pochettino was in talks with the club, but we didn't get Pochettino because he ended up going to PSG. Like I've said to you, Solskjaer has to win a trophy this season. He's not yet won a trophy as Man United manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017. And a few weeks ago, Solskjaer did mention that we must leave a legacy of silverware. Solskjaer's ambition for this season is to win the Premier League. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. That's 8 years ago now. We're not going to win the Premier League under Solskjaer, I can assure that. But we should be winning the Premier League because we've got a title-winning squad. And earlier on this season, Solskjaer told his Man United squad that it's better than the 1999 treble winning team that Solskjaer was part of. But my two biggest concerns about Solskjaer is his decision making, because analysing the vast majority of the games he's managed at Man United, he's been tactically naive. And the other one, he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager. Like I've already mentioned, he hasn't won out yet at Manchester United, and he's been in charge of Man United for almost 3 years. When he was at Molde, yeah, he won a few Norwegian titles, but they're not a big club. He enjoyed 2 spells at Molde, and he didn't win anything at Cardiff. He only enjoyed a short tenure at Cardiff. He got sacked from Cardiff. The reason is because he got Cardiff relegated. So there you go. And like I said at the start of this season, this season was going to be massive for Solskjaer because he's got big expectations to exceed. This season is Solskjaer's 3rd full season as Man United manager. We definitely made a mistake giving Solskjaer a new contract in the summer, because I can assure he won't see it out, and I think a lot of United fans will agree with me on that aspect. But whatever happens regarding Solskjaer, we'll always adore him, because at the end of the day, he is a club legend. He endured 11 years as a player for Man United. He flourished under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance. Solskjaer's most iconic moment as a player was when he scored the winning goal in the Champions League final in 1999 when he won the club the treble, and that is the club's greatest achievement. Solskjaer has managed over 150 games as Man United manager in all competitions. Solskjaer got appointed in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. He's been permanent Manchester United manager since March 2019. Now, Solskjaer got very good backing in this year's summer transfer window. John Murtough backed him. Of course, John Murtough is our director of football. Darren Fletcher also backed him. Ed Woodward's backed him. And the Glazers, surprisingly, backed him. And we enjoyed a very good summer transfer window. We made 4 signings. We brought Tom Eaton in on a free from Villa, brought Sancho in from Dortmund, brought Varane in from Real Madrid, and we re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo after 12 years. We spent around 141 million in this year's summer transfer window. We only managed to sell one player in this year's summer transfer window, that was Daniel James. Sold him to Leeds for 25 million. We loaned a few players out as well. We loaned Ethan Laird out, Andres Pereira, Axel Tuanzebe, Brandon Williams to Heath Chong, and Facundo Pellistri. Manchester United definitely have to sign a midfielder in January or next summer. Solskjaer's already told the Glazers that he wants Manchester United to sign Declan Rice. Well, it said earlier on this season that Man United abandoned the pursuit of Declan Rice over West Ham's 90 million valuation. He said we was looking at Declan Rice alternatives. Well, earlier on this season it said Man United identified Declan Rice as the number 1 midfield transfer target for next summer, because it said Declan Rice is likely to leave West Ham next summer as he targets a club offering Champions League football. Well, when the summer transfer window was open, it did mention that Declan Rice was unhappy with West Ham's 100 million price tag, and Rice has rejected a few contract offers at West Ham. He's got 3 years left on his contract at West Ham. We also went in for Ruben Neves in the summer transfer window but didn't get him. We also tried to get Saul Niguez from Atletico Madrid. Obviously Chelsea ended up getting him on loan. But like I've said to you before, when results aren't going our way, and when we're inconsistent, and when we've been inconsistent, Ollie's accountable for certain things, but not all of the blame stems from Ollie. Obviously, there's still certain players at Man United that are not good enough to represent the club, and obviously they've got to take responsibility for some of them defeats. Man United are going to sell players next year. There's a good chance we're going to offload Martial. There's a good chance we're going to offload Van der Beek as well. I recently gave you the news on Donny van der Beek. Sky Sports have come out and said that Everton remain interested in Van der Beek. And it said Everton were close to signing Donny van der Beek on loan, but Solskjaer rejected Van der Beek's exit. Van der Beek's agent is said to be working hard to find a new club for his client. Many clubs have been in for Van der Beek, so he's had a long-running transfer saga. But Donny van der Beek will try to force a January transfer away from Man United following his Villarreal meltdown. Because Donny van der Beek was furious with Solskjaer as he was left on the bench in Man United's win over Villarreal. Van der Beek got spotted throwing chewing gum in the dugout. Van der Beek played no part against Everton, no part against Villarreal. He played the full 90 minutes against West Ham in the Carabao Cup and he put a very good performance out. Started against Young Boys a few weeks ago in the Champions League, but Solskjaer taking him off at half-time, and I heavily criticised Solskjaer for that. Lingard, there's a good chance he's going to go next year. Cavani and Mata will leave next year. Dalot, I think he'll leave next year as well. He's our backup right back to Basak. Jones will leave next year, I think. Bai could leave next year. I also think Tellez will leave next year. I also think we should offload Fred and McTominay next year, but I don't think we're going to. There's a lot of United fans that are having a go at Solskjaer for persistently selecting Fred and McTominay in the centre of midfield. Obviously, Solskjaer trusts Fred and McTominay in Man United's midfield. But, we've got a very, very good team. But the problem is, we're playing as individuals. We're not playing as a team, like Neville recently mentioned. We've got the best player in the world in Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo's done really, really well since he re-signed. Ronaldo's already scored 5 goals. It said not so long ago that Ronaldo wants to retire at Man United and then coach Cristiano Jr. in the Red Devils youth team. And prior to the Villa game, Solskjaer said he believes Ronaldo can keep playing for Man United into his 40s. Ronaldo's 36 at the moment. Ronaldo has already hinted that he's looking to stay at Man United beyond his current contract. Ronaldo is under contract with Man United till 2023. There's an option of a further year. Ronaldo receives £480,000 a week. He's the highest earner at Man United. He wears a number 7 shirt. And we got Ronaldo for 19.8 million with add-ons included. We've got Edison Cavani. That's made an impact. So I can't say I want him to leave. Cavani was injured earlier on this season, just come back not so long ago. Surprisingly started against Everton at the weekend, had a good chance from a downward header but produced a good save from Jordan Pickford. You know, Cavani has under a year left on his contract. Back in May, Cavani signed a 1-year contract extension with Man United and he receives over £200,000 a week. Barcelona tried to get Cavani on deadline day in the summer transfer window, but they didn't get him. Barcelona could reignite their interest in January. Well, it recently said Real Madrid want Cavani on loan in January. Real Madrid wanted Cavani in the summer transfer window, but the club failed to make a move happen. Real Madrid will wait until next summer for their main attacking targets Mbappe and Haaland. We've got Mason Greenwood. That's also very good. He's done alright so far this season. Greenwood scored 3 goals in the league so far this season. I think Greenwood's also very good with the ball. His crossing's quite good and he creates very good chances. Greenwood's been an absolute revelation since he broke into our senior squad. Greenwood made his senior debut for Man United back in 2019. He's been a United player since the age of 7. And last season he signed a new 4-year contract with the club. Greenwood can play on the right and centrally. I think he can also be deployed on the left, but you seem to get the best out of Greenwood when he's playing on the right hand side. You know, Marcus Rashford's also good when he wants to be, but Rashford has endured his bad periods, which is a concern. He's also become injury prone at Man United. The good news is, from a Man United perspective, Rashford is really close to returning. It said a few weeks ago that Rashford looked sharp in training after his injury shoulder operation. But when he comes back, will look much better. Rashford's been part of the club for a long time. He's been a United player since the age of 7 and he's been in our senior squad since 2016. Bruno Fernandes, he's very good as well. You know, Bruno Fernandes got the assist for Martial's goal against Everton. He also got the assist for the Telles goal against Villarreal. Executed the free kick to perfection. But Fernandes missed a 93rd minute penalty against Aston Villa. I think that was his first penalty miss as a Man United player. Fernandes scored a very good goal from 25 yards out in the 4-1 win against Newcastle earlier on this season, and Fernandes scored his first Man United hat-trick in the 5-1 win against Leeds, which was the opening day. But there has been quite a few games where Fernandes has looked off the pace, but there's been a lot of games where he's been very consistent. He's one of our best players, like I've said, he's one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. He said earlier on this season that Bruno Fernandes is close to signing a new 5-year contract at Man United worth £250,000 a week with the signing of Ronaldo. At the moment, Fernandes is under contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further 12 months. Bruno Fernandes wants to stay at Man United. He's made that clear. He's been with us now for almost 2 years. Last season he won Player of the Year, and he's won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. You know, we got Fernandes from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. And, you know, Donny van der Beek's a good player, but like I've already said, I haven't really had much of a perception on him at Man United because he doesn't get enough game time. Paul Pogba's also very good. Pogba's enjoyed a good start to the Premier League season. Pogba's already got 7 assists. Pogba produced good performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season, but at one point last season he was out with a thigh injury and he sustained some ankle injuries at Man United. I'm hoping Pogba signs a new contract. Obviously, Paul Pogba's current contract at Man United expires next summer, and before the start of the season, Pogba rejected a new Man United contract. But it said Pogba sees a long-term future at Man United and may wait on the contract extension. Earlier on this season, it said Pogba's very likely to leave Man United on a free next summer. He's had a long-running transfer saga. He's been relentlessly linked with Real Madrid. PSG have been in for him. PSG are prepared to offer Pogba £510,000 a week in wages to prize him away from Man United. Barcelona have been in for him. Inter Milan have been in for him before. And his former club Juventus have been in for him. Now, Paul Pogba's agent Mino Raiola suggested a few weeks ago that Pogba could return to Juventus from Man United on a free next summer, because he did mention that Turin is still in Paul Pogba's heart. Well, Pogba did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus before he rejoined Man United, but he said the other week that Juventus have no plans to re-sign Pogba next summer. He says Man United must sell Pogba in January to buy players. A few weeks ago now, Pogba's brother Matthias Pogba came out and said that Paul Pogba's yet to decide on his future, and he said his contract situation is up in the air. But yeah, Man United set Paul Pogba deadline. Man United want Paul Pogba's future sorted by Christmas, as the Red Devils hope he will sign a new contract worth £400,000 a week. This season is Pogba's 6th season at Man United since he rejoined. He's our most expensive signing at the moment because we paid £89 million for him. We had Pogba when he was a lot younger under the Ferguson era, but had to let him go due to limited appearances. And he's won 3 trophies at the club so far. Jadon Sancho, now he is a good player, but he hasn't enjoyed a good start to his Man United career. But like I've said to you, it does take some players time to settle in. And I said Sancho will do well at Man United providing Solskjaer uses him correctly. Solskjaer's been playing Sancho out of position. He's played him on that left-hand side a few times. Yeah, he can play on the left, but he's not effective on the left. He's much, much better on the right than he is on the left, because Sancho's predominantly a right winger. Not so long ago, Borussia Dortmund warned Man United about the Jadon Sancho problem. Borussia Dortmund's CEO said that Jadon Sancho's lack of game time at Man United is hurting my soul. We got Sancho in a deal worth £78 million with add-ons included. Man United paid £73 million up front. Sancho's under contract with Man United till June 2026. There's an option of a further year. You've got Luke Shaw. That's a very, very good left back. He hasn't been brilliant so far this season. Last season he was far better than he has been so far this season. Luke Shaw's just recently come back from a minor injury and also illness. Shaw's been our first choice left back for a while, and he still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Tellez. Shaw's had a good career at Man United despite his injuries. Luke Shaw has been at Man United for like 7.5 years, so he's been a long-serving player. Shaw has just under 2 years left on his current contract. Well, it said at one point, we are in the process of extending Luke Shaw's contract. You've got obviously Raphael Varane, that's a very good centre-half. Now, in his last 2 games, he has been quite poor, but prior to that, I think he's done quite well in the other games. You know, Varane's well composed, he's effective in the air, and he brings the ball out well from the back. I like the way he intercepts as well. Varane will do well at Man United, I've always said it. You know, we got Varane in a deal worth 41 million with add-ons included. Man United paid like 34 million up front. The rest is in add-ons. Varane is under contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further year. Varane to Man United was official just before kick-off against Leeds, which was the opening day. Varane is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He's highly experienced, and he's got a good pedigree as a player. You know, look at the amount of trophies he won when he was at Real Madrid. He was a long-serving player at Real Madrid. He endured 10 years with them. didn't he? You've got Harry Maguire. That's a decent centre-half. You know, he's had his good games at Man United. He's also had his bad games. He hasn't been great so far this season. Maguire's now out with injury for a few weeks. Solskjaer's already confirmed that. Maguire was a big miss for us towards the end of last season because he had ligament damage in his ankle, and we overpaid for Maguire. Got him for, what, 80 million? Most expensive centre-half in the world at this moment in time, and the second most expensive signing at the club. Eric Bailly, he's a good centre-half, but he's going to really find it hard to get into the team now following the arrival of Varane in the summer transfer window. Bailly played against West Ham in the Carabao Cup. It was his first start this season, and Bailly put a very good performance out. We should keep Bailly as a backup. My element of concern about Bailly is injury prone. That's my only element of concern. Towards the end of last season, Bailly signed a new contract with Man United till 2024. There's an option of a further year. You've got Basak. That's also a very good right back. He's enjoyed some good games this season. He's enjoyed some poor games. There's aspects of Basaka's game that's got to improve, like I've already mentioned. But despite that, I still think he's one of the best right backs we've had since Gary Neville. This season is Basaka's third full season at Man United. We got Basaka in a deal worth 50 million from Crystal Palace back in the summer of 2019. David De Gea, you know, very, very good goalkeeper. He's done well so far this season. You know, his distribution's been good. You know, he's made some very, very good saves, especially against Villarreal. He made like 5 good saves. Some of the games he hasn't really had much to do. You know, De Gea has reclaimed the number 1 spot back. In the summer, he said De Gea decided to cut short his holiday by 2 weeks to fight for the starting place, because he said De Gea is determined to fight for his Man United future. De Gea is one of the best keepers in the world. You know, this season is De Gea's 11th season at Man United. He's been long-serving. He's been with us since the Ferguson era. De Gea's got like under 2 years left on his contract, and he receives £375,000 a week. You know, De Gea's won everything domestically at the football club, and he's made over 500 appearances for Man United in all competitions. And I think Dean Henderson's a good goalkeeper as well. You know, he did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. But I said the other week that Dean Henderson wants a loan move away from Man United, with obviously De Gea reclaiming the number 1 spot back. So there you go. That's a very, very good squad. And like I've already mentioned, there's quite a few players that don't get in that team. You know, Mata doesn't get in the team, Martial doesn't play a lot. You know, that Donny van de Beek doesn't get enough game time, like I've already said. Tellez doesn't really get in the team. He only recently played because Luke Shaw wasn't available. Jones doesn't get in the team either. Bailly or Lindelof don't now, because of us obviously getting Varane. Dalot doesn't get in the team hardly. Obviously Dean Henderson doesn't get in goal, because obviously David De Gea is number 1. Cavani, you know, he doesn't really get in the team now, obviously with us re-signing Cristiano Ronaldo. So anyway guys, that's everything to update for today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.